This is an informative speech on email etiquette. Email etiquette is very important. Today I will cover a few steps on how to properly prepare an email. What does email stand for?
Electronic mail.
Internet. Email stands for electronic mail. This is a method that is used to exchange messages directly. How would you feel if someone sent you an email that was typed in all caps?
As if they were upset.
If they were angry.
As if they knew I couldn't see good and that would help me be able to read it.
Well, it's been said that composing an email in all caps, it portrays the image that the sender is yelling at you and they're upset. So it's advised that you do not type an email in all caps. When you're composing an email, take your time. Make sure you think long and hard and compose and choose your words wisely. Emails are used more regular in the workplace. It's suggested that you check your email at least 3 times a day. In the morning, before and after lunch, and before you leave for the day. What are your thoughts on emails?
They're important.
They're an easy way to communicate.
Emails are an effective way to communicate with anyone, and they're becoming more and more popular. Nowadays, when you apply for a job, your employer uses emails to communicate with you. They'll email you for an interview, they'll email you for your drug screening or your background check or what have you. So it's very important that you use your email and you check it periodically. How to properly compose an email. The proper way to compose an email is to first start with the email address. You will need a proper address for the person that you're sending the email to. I tell everyone that the email address that you used when you were younger or maybe in school may or may not be appropriate for you to use when you're an adult. I mean, your email may have been pinkypie@yahoo.com. Well, if you're applying for a job, they don't want to see pinkypie@yahoo.com. So it's suggested and it's more appropriate that you use maybe your first and last name @yahoo.com. Whether you want to believe it or not, your email address will say a lot about you. So make sure you choose the proper email because it will follow you for the rest of your life. Of course, you can create an email address over and over and over again, but eventually they're going to run out of names for you to choose from. So, again, make sure you choose it wisely. Your subject line. Make sure your subject line is short, brief, and to the point. And it's going to in detail what the nature of the email is about. When I'm checking my emails, that's the first thing I look at, the subject line, to see how important it is and whether I need to open it now or later. So make sure you do not forget to include your subject line in your email. Your greeting. It is very important that you start the email off with a greeting. It can be a hello, a hi, a good morning, or a good evening. Either way, just make sure it starts off with the greeting. You could very well just use the person's name versus just starting to blabber off with what you're talking about. Start it with a proper greeting. Never send an email if you're angry. When you're angry, we tend to say how we feel. When you're typing an email, regardless of how you're feeling, if you're angry, it's going to come out that you were upset. So if you're typing an email and you're upset, it's okay to leave it in the draft until you calm down. And then you reread it or have someone else reread it and then send it. Or even wait until you're not upset and send the email. Make sure you spell check and you proof your email as well. You may even want to leave the sender's email address off for the last part. That way you don't accidentally hit send without proofing it. The last thing you want to do is send an email that doesn't make sense or that has misspelled words. CC. When you CC someone, that's sending them a copy of the email. CC stands for carbon copy. BCC. When you BCC someone on the email, it's also sending them a copy of the email, but it's a blind carbon copy, which means you won't be able to see that I sent them a copy of this email. They'll still receive it. You won't know I sent it to someone else, and you won't know the other person's email address either. Closing your email. This is just like closing the letter. You end it with a farewell, a blessed day, or even a good weekend if it's Friday. I like to base my closing on the recipient. If I really know the person, that would determine how I close my email. I would love to tell everyone, have a blessed day, but I can't do that with everyone because not everyone will receive that in a good way. Here are a couple email rules. Number 1, use a direct subject line. Number 2, make sure you use a professional email address. Number 3, use exclamation points wisely. If you use the exclamation point in one sentence, you can't follow the next sentence with an exclamation point either. Proofread every message. And last but not least, you can always save your email address for the last so you know that you have proofed your email. And that's it.